What's going on, guys? I know it's been a minute, but we have something very important to talk about. And it's not this. It's not what's inside this. It's not my sink juice. All right? It's not the pen that I carry and use every day. It's not philosophy on the more I get into knives, the longer and more like appreciation I have for actually carrying and using knives, that I just keep regressing back to Spyderco because they're affordable, because they're awesome slicers, because of their heat treat. It's not that. The thing that gathers us here today, in my opinion, it's not this Casio Royale with the bull bar. It's not that. It's that hot dogs are not sandwiches. I heard that the other day. There was a sandwich believer. And if you want to die on that hill, go ahead. I mean, you got to pick your battles wisely. But to me, if anything, a hot dog is a mini sub. Maybe. I think it's a bun issue. So a traditional hot dog has that joint at the bottom. And that's, you know, like a sub. As soon as you split that and it comes on top, maybe your hot dog's a sandwich, but as long as it's connected, it's not a sandwich. Anyways, extremely important news. This is my 15V Shaman with Rip Garage Tech scales on it. Has the, I forget what they call this, jungle carbon, I think it's green. I have the MXG clip on there, lowrider clip. I think they make the best clips for these Spydercos, hands down, even Benchmade's. And then I paired it up with this. I cannot stop carrying this combo. This is the laid back jack that you've seen on the last video. Maybe you've seen. Not many people are watching my videos at all, and I don't know if it's just because it's the traditional knife reviews or if it's just I fell out of the algorithm. Either way, I take the blame. Extreme ownership. Jocko has taught me that everything is my fault. It is, though, if you think about it, because if you don't post a video but here and there or once a month or something like that, then, you know, obviously you can't blame anybody but yourself. And then I wanted to talk about this Shaman a little bit, in my experience carrying this 15V. I haven't had to sharpen it, and I've been using it like crazy. Now, I'll do another video on, and I know there's other videos like this, but in my opinion, the paramilitary Maximate versus this and 15V, and why I made that pairing in my collection like that. 15V, this is a little bit more thicker of a grind, which means it's a little thicker behind the edge. More meant for harder use, which is, I think, how they market the Shaman. I'm not sure if that's completely true. The stop pins are a little bit different. Again, I'll save that for the video going forward, but I like them both for their own reason. To me, this feels a lot like an SNG or an SMF from Strider. And I know there's a person on Etsy or somewhere that was doing the handle conversions that had the thicker part down here that made it almost exactly like an SNG or an SMF. It's more SMF size to me. The difference here is you don't have that hump that you have in most Spydercos, right, which gives it that SNG style. It just feels like it. Now, this is a skinny handle mod from Rip Garage Tech, which just means it doesn't have a palm swell here. It's still the same thickness here, and it's just called a skinny mod because it's skinnier here. And I'm not quite sure I like that so much. I like the way it looks, but I think ultimately if I had to do it again, I would buy these same exact scales, but I wouldn't get the skinny. I just feel like that little extra bit of palm swell added a little bit of something in the grip, especially if you was really going to hard use this knife. I don't think I neutered this knife in any way by going with the skinny mod. I like it better. It's still great for EDC. There's nothing, you know, inherently wrong with it. It does have a little cleaner look here. I told you there's car. I'm telling you, I'm like a half-mile away from everywhere where I am in this plaza. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm saying, what is that crazy guy doing waving his knives around over there? Yep. And then just look at this clip. This is a lowrider perfection in my opinion. Now the only downside to these Spydercos, well, one of the downsides, it's not the only, it's far from a perfect knife or a perfect knife design, especially with all the nub coming here and the action on this guy. I'll do another video really going in depth on this knife. But I like it a lot and I cannot stop carrying it. What was I gonna say? Oh, the clip. These Spydercos, in any knife with a slab construction like this, that's not like an integrated, I don't have one on me right now, but the clip and the screws poke out. You know, there's a lot of new knife designs now where the clip is like recessed in and the screws are recessed in. When it slides into your pocket, it's just a smooth ramp all the way up to the top of the clip. That's just not the case with these Spyderco knives that have like a G10 construction. You know, it's easy to look over that when you know that there's so many aftermarket parts available to customize these into what you like, and they're so easy. You just screw them in and keep your spare parts. If you ever want to sell it later, you can put the spare part back on the thing and make it factory again. So, you know, it's just one of those things, but I do like it a lot. I love this combo. And then I really do carry these Jack Wolf knives. I absolutely love this combo right here. How could you not? You've got a small blade for most of everything I need on my job. That doesn't scare anybody. That's awesome. This all titanium with this jigging on here. The S90V, to me, just an awesome size. So easy to carry. Hard to complain. And then, of course, you guys know the leather wallet, open sea leather wallet I had for many years. Of course, green Casio Royale with bull bar. I put the green straps on the side. I've got a bunch of these cheapy Casio watches now, and I just like rotating them. I don't know, I could fall into the watch world very easily. I've got a nice automatic Seiko that my wife and kids got me for Father's Day and my birthday. My birthday usually falls on Father's Day. It's like every few years it follows, but they're always like close enough to like get a cool gift on your birthday, and we'll just say it's for that and Father's Day. But anyways, I still like these cheap. They just get the job done. They can beep on the hour, which, you know, something automatic, something nicer doesn't. And that keeps me on schedule for my work, believe it or not, because my work is so time constrained that it's like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, you got 2 more hours. And then it like audibly beeps at 11 o'clock. Like, okay, there's another hour pass. It just makes me more conscious of my time. So I'm not saying it's the best work watch ever, but this has everything I need. If I have a meeting or something at 4 o'clock, I can set this for 3:50. And then if I got to punch orders by 4:30, I can set another one. This has 5 alarms. Not that your iPhone can't do all that stuff, but it's nice to have it right on your wrist. Super easy to set and turn on and off the alarms as needed. My family mostly lives in Las Vegas, so it keeps track of the different time zone. And most digital watches can do my digital watches can do 2 time zones. But anyways, they're usually thinner. When I'm running my hand in and out of tight spaces with my wine bottles, I'm not clicking them. If I do click it, it's not a big deal because they're usually like $25, under $50 watches. And they're just I like the retro feel to them. Like I like original Game Boys and stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons I like them. Plus, like, you can have a lot of them to wear with whatever your outfit is for the day. I don't know. It's a weird, cool thing to have like cheap little Casio watches that you don't care about. Which is funny when you pair it up with high-end knives. This is the titanium hinder pen. It's just funny to like have them right next to each other. But anyways, I wanted to check in on you guys, see how you're doing, let you know that I am doing okay. Things could always be better. It seems like life will have a way where it will just punch you right in the face. And then when you're stumbling, it'll punch you right in the face again, and you're trying to not get knocked down. And then you just gotta assess the situation, how I try to look at the positive in most things. And you look around, you go, oh, okay, the kids are good. They're happy. They got everything they need. Families got their health. The pets are good right now. It's like, you know, it ain't that bad. So it's easy to get knocked down, and it's hard to pull yourself back up. I don't know if that makes sense, but shit happens to everybody. And I think in a world like this where it's so much bad news is on the news, and then when bad shit starts happening to you, that you just look around, you're like, oh my God, what in the heck is going on? And I'm just like a skeptic of everything. So I know I'm talking real general, but just one of the things is, like, the kids are supposed to go back to school. Well, in our area, the schools, for some reason, about a week before they were supposed to open, had to get tested for toxic mold. And we've been hearing, because we have some friends who are teachers and even some that are principals, you know, with the kids on all the sports teams. We've pretty much know everybody from the middle school, from elementary school, from the high school, and just, we know a ton of people. Not bragging, it's just how it is. And they built a new school in our district, so we heard that they were low on teachers, and now it's funny that they were testing for toxic mold, which they found in like 14 schools. So now they have to delay the school, pull out more money that nobody had, and then nobody wants their kids going to these old schools with toxic mold. And then they found like 9 more schools in the district that have toxic mold. So now they're like, yeah, we're opening next week. And I'm like, you're not clearing out 20 different schools. Even if you have teams of 2,000 people in all these different places that are able to deal with the cleanup of that, there's just no way. You cannot. It's just so strange. Like, what's going on? I think they're going to go to online learning this, which is awful, because my oldest son is this will be his senior year, and it's just like, ugh. And he can already graduate early because he's been in AIG classes, which means right now he's already taken courses at the community college, which is good, but it's just weird to have your senior year and miss out on that, which he won't mind, but I don't know. Everything's like up in the air. Like, as you used to know life, it's not like that anymore, is what I'm trying to say. Like, the like idea of old school ways, like, I'm just trying to be flexible in my mindset. And it's tough because we have 4 children. So it's like, do you push college on them and have them go get in debt, or do you have them like learn a trade? Like, right now we don't have air upstairs in our house, and that's gonna be like $7,000 to like $10,000 to fix. Well, we have 3 different cars to buy right now. I'm still in my Dodge Ram truck driving around doing all these miles, and I need to get a car for myself because I drive so many miles. We pay for our own gas that it doesn't make sense to drive this, and we don't have $40,000 sitting around to buy 3 cars and get the air fixed. which is why I was saying tons of stuff's just happening. My mother-in-law is living with us right now because the people that she was renting from decided to tell her that they were going to sell the house. So they had her move out within a month, and she had been there like 10 years. Told her she had to move out within a month. So that was just a big thing. We moved her out. And then she's waiting for another house. But of course, interest rates are at an all-time high. And then come to find out the people that she was moving out of that house, they said they were gonna sell the house. Well, now they have new renters back in there. So was that the guy's plan the entire time? Could he have just gave her the opportunity to raise her rent or whatever he was gonna do? I don't know. It's just, that's why I'm like a skeptic. I question a lot of people's motives if you know, I don't know them well. And you never really know anybody well. You may think you do, but you know, I've had a lot of people in my life, in my circle, just flake out, and just all of a sudden you're talking to them every day, and then just you let them borrow a few things, a few dollars, a few knife scales, a few knives or something, and then you just never hear from them again. It happens. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's all just stuff and things. You just got to look around and be like, okay, like, I'm starting to, just by accident, and then again, is the Facebook meta algorithm feeding me this stuff? But I started to see like Stoicism stuff show up on my Instagram page and all that, and my YouTube page, and it's like, there is something to it. I think I might start doing some audiobooks, some of the old school books, and look into it a little more. Just like a mindset, really. And I'm already kind of wired that way, to be like, well, I can't control the outside forces. The only thing I can control is right now and how I react to that. And I've always been one to like take little bits of things, people that are older than me or younger, you know, sometimes you just have a conversation with somebody. And I may have already told you guys this one time, that I was working with this guy who's super religious, and great guy. And just the one thing he used to always say, we could leave out of the warehouse with 10 pallets with 40 stops, which starting at 4 o'clock in the morning, we might be out till 7 o'clock at night, and then have a 3-hour ride home. That's just how it was back 10 years ago. And he'd be loading all that stuff up at 4 o'clock in the morning, waiting on the truck to come. He'd be there at 3:30, doing push-ups, jumping jacks, getting ready for the day. He was an older guy, real religious. I really want to say his name, but I'm not going to. Not that he's watching this, but he is an awesome guy. I need to get in touch with him. But he would say in the morning, he's out of breath. I mean, he's like 55 years old or so doing this. I go, holy cow, man, how are you doing? He's like, I got to wake up, man. He goes, this stuff ain't, he goes, none of this, they can't steal my joy. If you ever think about that, like all this stuff, our air breaking down, people taking the house from underneath my mother-in-law, and all the stuff, you know. I had a flat tire the other day, just a screw went through my tire, and then my air went out in my truck, and then the air went out in the house, all within like 48 hours. And it's just like, you can't steal my joy. You know, I'm still breathing, the kids are still good. We'll deal with it. We'll fix it. We'll keep moving on. We'll keep one foot in front of the other. I'm going to keep working out. I'm going to keep drinking my sink juice, my water. I'm going to keep eating my good food. I packed my lunch. I'm staying on track, and I'm doing everything that I can control. And, you know, I think there's something to that. So, and I don't know if that's Stoicism or not. Some of you guys can tell me. Sorry, this is a 20-minute rambling video, but you know how I do. I'm just checking in. Wanted to tell you guys hello. Wanted to give you a little insight into what I've been up to and how I'm doing. The kids are good. We've got 3 that are driving. My oldest is about to start his senior year, which is crazy because some of you guys have been watching since the early days of when they were tiny. So I appreciate you guys. I want to do more videos just like this, even if it's just checking in, giving you guys some of my insight to life, and then just reading your comments and just interacting with you guys. I got to do some more live stuff, And it's tough because now my mother-in-law's living into our living room. I know. We're breaking down some walls and letting you guys know how we're living right now. So I can't really get on our computer in there and just start live streaming and stuff. But anyways, we've been busy. My daughter's in travel soccer. We just got back from Myrtle Beach. Had to go to a game out there, and it was beautiful out there. And then a hurricane was about to hit, so we got out of there. They got to play their games. Yeah, happy Labor Day. I'm out here working a little bit. You can see I'm taking the time to make a video. And I think I need to do this a little more often, to just check in. Even if nobody watches these videos, it's good for me to have out there to get some stuff off my chest and just kind of do like a vlog, if only for myself and my kids who will watch this later on. I know sometimes some of my family watches the videos. It's kind of cute. It's embarrassing, but it's cute. So anyways, shout out to you guys, you legends who have made it to 21 minutes into my rambling video. Yeah, the EDC, what an unstoppable combo in these two guys.